just got back in from Philadelphia. It's a little different. I came out here to stay for a month. It was all about love, fun, and greatness. So I'm glad to be back thinking about actually moving this way because it's been so good. Now, for me, I'm not really a political guy, but I've been around about 3.5 months. And I've learned a lot. I've learned that the system is really rigged, first of all. But now, moving forward, I think that that's what's important today. What we must do collectively, we must figure out how, beyond the 29th of July, beyond the next election, that we have impact. That's what I believe in, impact. So, first of all, let me say this, and we can put all the disclaimers out. Based on the bad behavior that continues to happen, there is no part of me that believes Bernie will remain with the Democratic Party. He's just too smart. Wouldn't y'all agree? All right. That's number one. Number two, what we must do is we must do everything we can right now to establish a reason for him to keep going beyond the Democratic Party. Do y'all agree? So I actually did an open letter to Bernie. He liked it on Twitter. It was serious. So that means he got the message. So now, here's what I think. We've seen what it takes in politics other than corruption. You know, they do raise money, right? All right. Then you got to have people that will vote, right? All right. So I just want to make sure we're all on the same page, because when I ask you to do this, I don't need you to be like, yeah, but don't do it. All right? That makes sense? All right. So here's what I asked Bernie. I said, if we put together $500 million, if we registered some million new young voters, and if the Democratic Party continued to do what they're doing, would you consider doing what you said you will do? And that's defeat Donald Trump. That's all he's ever said, right? Is that right? So I gotta help y'all read through the lines. Let me see. Bernie, do you endorse Hillary Clinton? What did he say? He said no. Then they said, Bernie, what is your goal? To help defeat Donald Trump, right? Well, the only way he can defeat Donald Trump is do what?
Run against him.
All right, so I gotta help y'all because I'm tired of people saying, I don't get it. What is he doing? Why is he saying that? Well, this is the way it works. Today, he is a Democratic nominee for president, correct? Is he still in the race? Okay. You agree? So he's still in the race. All right. So we agree he's still in the race. He has not endorsed Hillary Clinton. Stop trying to cut me off, CNN. This is important. Because what I want you to do today, I want you to leave here so you can have these conversations. So when I believe the time will come that we need to collectively stand, and there's a way you stand. You stand financially, you stand, and then I got to talk about our super in a minute. See, CNN, this ain't been doing this all day. All right, because here's the thing. I believe that education is the most important thing. I became educated about 3.5 months ago. And in that 3.5 months, I am a die-hard Bernie Sanders guy. Period. So that means when you talk to me about this party doing this, it really doesn't penetrate. Because until Bernie says, I am no longer a candidate, all I can think about is what do we do to get him to that next step, right? All right, so the first thing we must do is we must support the delegates, y'all. Because without them being on the floor arguing, it makes no sense for us to talk about we're with Bernie, right? So that means a lot of y'all had $27 that you have not to use last month. Agree? Do we agree? Because y'all playing with me. If you got $27 that you would have gave Bernie this month and you have not spent it, raise your hand. Raise your hand. All right. So what I need to do is this. I need for you to spend that $27 on one of these delegates because we're a team. It all works hand in hand, right? All right. So we're going to do that. And then the next thing we're going to do, we're going to figure out how we show Bernie the money. Not the corporations, we do it. I just believe, because I'm crazy enough to believe this. If Bernie has $500 million pledgeable, ready to go, he has a huge deregistration that will happen in Philadelphia, guaranteed a huge deregistration. So that means if we deregister as a Democrat, we register more young people by October the 8th, you take that number, and I believe we're in the fight. What do y'all think? So, here's what I'm saying to Bernie, because he's watching right now, y'all. Watch. Just tweet him and say, do you see us? You'll get this little heart come back. All right. To Bernie, Bernard Sanders, the sitting senator for Vermont, the husband of Jane Sanders, the fearless leader that brought all this about. Here's what we're saying to you. We stand with you now. We stand with you tomorrow. We stand with you beyond July 29th. We stand with you into November. And here's what we're asking of you. We're saying on the 28th at 5 p.m., when the super delegates are running out of the city, as we shut their hotels down because they're trying to get away, here's what we're saying to you. Whatever you got to do, I'll even bring the bus to you. We need you to prepare to be that strong, viable man who worked across the country day in, nighttime, 7 days a week, that made us see the system we live in, that we thought represented us, gives not one care. I don't use profanity, y'all. That's why I didn't give you what I could have gave you. A damn about us. But at the end of the day, when I can look out amongst this group, I see black, I see brown, I see white, I see big, I see small, and at the end of the day, this is what America is supposed to be about. Us, the people. And it doesn't matter if we are not in a good position. So, moving forward from today, don't allow anyone to tell you you have to vote for a Democratic Party because they do not represent you or me. You have to be emphatic about that. You cannot waver and you cannot consider. When they say Trump to you, say Trump what? Then you say Hillary who? Why Hillary? Because at the end of the day, you decided. You decided. You decided and you decided that you were with Bernie because he is the only candidate that believes in people. And we cannot waver on that. So here's what I'm going to do. Here's my commitment to Bernie and the movement. I commit that Black Man for Bernie, with all these wonderful people across the country, will register at least 5 million new voters by October the 8th so we can have that number. That's what we'll do. So here's how we're going to do that. It's called Get in the Game. Get in the Game is an overall 20 million voter registration drive. And here's what we're doing. We're educating people. We're going to chase young people down. That's the first thing. We're going to get them to register. After we get them to register, we're going to teach them how to understand the issues that plague their communities. Then we're going to teach them how to hold elected officials accountable. And the last thing, if they won't do the job, we'll teach them how to run for office themselves. That's how we're going to win. Now, after and when we start this process, we also have what's called bucket lists. Black Men for Bernie has bucket lists. So what I believe is that with everything I've learned, we have to make this work day in and day out. So we have some people that make the bucket list in a good way, and we have some people that make the bucket list in a bad way. The first person to make the bucket list in a bad way is Debbie. So that bucket is called Take Down Debbie. That means we'll take a bucket and we won't go to Home Depot because they don't seem to be people friendly. We'll go find another bucket and we'll take that bucket and we'll just go around and take that and do what we have to do to take down Debbie. Now, also, the Congressional Black Caucus made the wrong side of the bucket list. It's take them down also. Because we cannot allow poverty-stricken communities to remain that way inside, in time, and overtime, and believe we've done something. So for me, my commitment is to raise the number of young voters, educated, and we know who they'll support. For you that have not spent $27, find one of these delegates, let them know that they're part of the team, take care of them, and then for the rest of us, keep telling people that Bernie Sanders is the only candidate that will move America where we can be respected, and then people want to be a part of us instead of destroying us. Other than that, stand the fight. We are here. We're not going anywhere. See y'all on the road.